Indigenous Allyship, anything Indigenous Relations, KAIROS Blanket Exercise. My name is Ian Hopfey. I'm an HR consultant and Indigenous Relations consultant. Also, I was not live yesterday, so if you want to talk HR and you have HR questions, go ahead, put them in the comments. Let's get some music going. Let's do the chill again. I guess that worked last couple times. All right. Got some chill going. Turn it down a little bit on my side. Ask your questions in the comments, everyone. So today is week 5. I've officially started week 5 of doing my daily lives, and I didn't do one yesterday because we were on vacation. We were in the mountains having a good old time. One and only 2-day vacation to Jasper National Park. It was fun. We went to the planetarium on Sunday night at the Jasper Park Lodge, and they've converted their tennis courts into a planetarium and a couple displays for comets and aurora borealis, and they also have just like 3-4 actual big telescopes set up. So they're the big ones, they're like size of a person, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty fun. It was out late though. We were out late. And then we went up the mountain, Whistler's Mountain, the next day. We had a 10:15 flight up the Jasper tramway, and that was enjoyable. I love going up the mountain because that's where I remember my dad the most. So it's a pilgrimage for me each year to go up the mountain. Talk to my dad a little bit. He passed away in 2005, so it's been a while. My wife, a little bit scared of heights, so she has trouble up there. I'm so happy that she comes up with me, though. It's tough. It can be tough on her. Got a few photos. I shared a few photos on the socials. I know maybe I'll share more. But Indigenous Relations, that's where we're from. That's where we're at today. See, no comments yet. No comments. Like I say, you can also ask me HR questions. You can ask me HR questions on any of my lives. It's really, that's my wheelhouse. That's where I'm most comfortable. So yes, ask me those questions anytime, even though I might have a certain theme. So you may notice that my background's further away. I was able to move my desk a little further up, so the window's a little closer on my side as opposed to kind of in front of me. So there's a little bit more of a table you can see beside my fancy dresser. Still a big mess from the Friday live I did selling on Whatnot, and that was nerve-wracking. It went long. I had lots of old comic books I was trying to sell and stuff like that. And this Friday, I hope to sell a bunch of old magic cards and things like that. But I still got to spend some time going through them, so I don't know if it's actually going to happen this Friday or not. I want to talk about lessons learned about selling on Whatnot. What were the big lessons I learned? 1, giveaways are nice to get people to follow you, but you pay the full shipping to wherever you're sending them. I had international shipping turned off, so I was only shipping to Canada. But when you have it set for Canada Post, like I did, I didn't try the other method. It's a special drop-off parcel service or something. I didn't understand it, so I just said Canada Post. They want you to sell or to send via the expedited parcel service, so it's a little bit more expensive. It's like $13.50 a parcel type thing, and Whatnot handles the shipping labels, so you just print off the shipping labels and cut them out and put them on your package. And I sold about $47 worth of stuff on Whatnot, and I thought that was pretty good. The shipping that Whatnot kept and all the Whatnot fees cost me like $38 and change. I think Whatnot owes me like $1.50, $1.60 or something like that. So all that time, 2 hours of selling, I made $1.60. Now here's an added kick in the butt. I also had to purchase some shipping supplies and parcel bags to get my shipments out. I only had 4 shipments because there was 4 people purchased multiple items, and that's nice. When someone purchases something, they pay for shipping themselves, so you got to make sure you get the right weights in. And I'm doing comic books. I don't think I put enough weight in for the sales because I needed to protect the comic books with cardboard on each side and then put it into the packing envelope, the bubble envelope. So that was more costly, but buying the supplies, I think I ended up buying $25 worth of supplies. There was one box I didn't use, so I'm going to return it, and I think that was $4 or $5. So the 4 packages I sent out also cost me the shipping costs or the shipping materials. So in actuality, I probably lost about $20. So don't do a bunch of giveaways. Maybe do one giveaway like when you're starting out, right? Until you get that magical number of what you're selling and how you get it all figured out. I would limit your giveaways. Maybe I was thinking my next one, I'm going to do a giveaway once I sell like $100 worth of stuff. That way I know I'm going to make some money. And I think it's going to be harder with the magic cards because they're such a small thing. Really, the shipping costs for these magic cards are going to be more than what the people actually pay for these magic cards, I think, especially if they want to do like $1 starts on a magic card, and then you try to auction it up and try to get more money. I had a couple successful auctions that went from, I think I'd set one for $10. It was a more expensive comic, and I think it went up to $15 the people bid up to. So it was something. That one, the money I made off that paid for most of the shipping on all the free stuff I sent out. So certainly have some sort of strategy where you're making sure you're making money. My goal was to have lots of giveaways, but I hadn't thought, well, if nobody bids up or I don't sell a lot, then, well, am I going to lose money? And technically I did. And that was Friday. On Fridays, I do fun and games, and I'll talk about anything. I like to talk about the stuff I like. I like games and fun stuff, so I like to do that. So on Mondays, when I go live, 11:30 to 1:30 on each day. On Mondays is human resources. We talk everything and anything human resources. Tuesdays, today, we talk about Indigenous relations, anything Indigenous relations related to small business, things like that. And Wednesday is side gigs, side hustles. You want to talk about that stuff, the stuff I'm doing with marketing. Essentially, it's kind of turns into marketing talk if you're trying to build your small business. And Thursdays is career club. So we talk about resumes and cover letters and job hunting and interview tips, because as an HR professional, I see the resumes coming in, and I've been on that side where I'm doing the interviews and calling references and things like that. Sorry, still trying to get rid of this cold. The last 2 days when we were out in the mountains, my allergies were just kicking in. My right eye was just running all day long when we were outside. But anyway, and of course, on Fridays when I go live, it's anything and everything. And I've decided to try to also do some social selling on the platform Whatnot at the same time. I'm trying to find a way that I can go live on TikTok also. I might just bite the bullet and say I'm going to go live on TikTok like this. Well, you can see the format right now. It's a regular landscape format, but this is TikTok here. So I might just bite the bullet and just look ugly on TikTok, because I want to also go live on TikToks on Friday, because it's an interesting. It's a no topic. It might be more interesting on Fridays on TikTok. So I'm gonna see about that. But I think I have TikTok set up. Oh, this program only lets me go live to 3 programs at once. And since my primary business is human resources, Indigenous relations type stuff for small businesses, really my target market is LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook proper. So that's kind of where I'm leaving it for now. But who knows? I might pay for the upgrade. The program I am using to stream is called Restream.io. It's in the browser window, so it's actually really easy. I tried a different program a few months back, and it was really confusing, and I didn't understand it at all. But Restream seems a little bit more user friendly for a Gen Xer, a Zennial like me. It's a little bit easier to understand. So ask your questions in the comments. Of course, today is Indigenous Relations and Indigenous Allyship, whatever you want to talk about in relation to that, or in relation to your small business too, and things like that. Because of course, here in Alberta and in Canada, we are all treaty people, and we need to understand that relationship that we have as two separate people sharing the same land base. That's the way it is, right? And I could share that image again, but maybe I don't feel like sharing that image today, or maybe it's an important image and I should be sharing it all the time. Let me have a look. I'll bring it up. Really helps people understand. Let's see. Get it in a nice square. Here, I'll share it. Yeah, share the window. Sharing the window. Well, that's a pretty good share, but I don't know. I don't know if I like myself being that small. No, not good enough. There. That's better. I like that view. So, my sister says, I'm here. I was vid chatting with my wife who works on the reservation. In Canada, Joy, we call them reserves. In the United States, we call them reservations. Still no word on the job she applied for up there. All right, fine. Fine, don't tell me your secrets. Anyway, Indigenous Relations. Obviously, my sister is also Indigenous like I am, so this topic matters to her. But I like to show this image here. This is what the real Canada is all about. So we have the landmass here, which is Canada. These are our international borders. And then we have the treaties that were signed to share the land. Because Indigenous people, all the the hundreds of independent Indigenous nations across this landmass, we said, yeah, we're okay sharing the land. Let's make a treaty. How do we share the land? Because Indigenous people have been making treaties for a long time. Because sometimes you got to cross someone else's territory to get to the good berries, to get to where the herds of bison come through, right? Like to get where the happy hunting grounds. No, that's not. No idea. I was going to say that, but to get to the hunting grounds seasonally, we had to cross other people's traditional territories. And these were treaties we did. When we cross by here, we will not take too much of the resources, or we will not make a mess when we camp down by the river, or whatever, right? Like this is how North Americans worked with each other in the prehistory, right? This is before colonization. There was treaties on how we crossed each other's territories. But these treaties we're talking about is the modern day treaties, which are completely relevant. They are 100% live, legally binding. The treaties are there, and we all have to follow them. So we are all treaty people. Treaties say, yes, Indigenous people will share the land with the Europeans who come here to colonize, right? So legally, you see that the governments, the colonial, federal, provincial, and municipal governments, they've chose to divide their government up into 3 sections, right? Federal, provincial, and municipal. So that's how they govern their colonial government. And the Indigenous people on the other side, you see here, this is all the First Nations in Canada. Every individual First Nation in Canada is equal to the colonial, federal, provincial, and municipal governments. Equal. That's the way the treaties are set up. Equal. And that's legally binding. So the governments of the past, we talk about the Royal Proclamation, King George III saying, these are Indian lands, you must make treaties in order to expand that way, right? That's where this all comes from. That's partly why the United States separated from British rule, that and taxes, and they wanted to own their slaves. They wanted to expand west into the so-called Indian Territory, which King George III said, you can't go there. That's legally their land. That's why in the United States, Indigenous people are a conquered people, because the government said, we don't need you, we're just going to wipe you out. So any Indigenous people still left in the United States, it's almost a miracle they're still alive. They're still there. They're still fighting to be a people. In Canada, Indigenous people are treaty partners. We are not a conquered people. We said, let's share the land. We know there's lots here. What could go wrong? Right? And of course, the colonial governments didn't honor the treaties properly, started treating us like, like less than dirty savages, essentially, and tried to wipe us out, tried to kill the Indian in the child, essentially. Everything they could do to get us away from the treaties, which they know are legally binding and what dictate the whole of Canada. So Canada is only whole when you talk about Indigenous governments and the colonial government being equal. There should be equality there, which there isn't. We know there isn't. And we think about things like, well, women didn't have the vote because they weren't landowners. Men who were white and didn't have land, they couldn't vote at some point, right? So it was kind of all based on rich people who owned land, rich white people who owned land. So they finally gave women the vote here in Canada, and they finally gave Indigenous people the vote also. And that almost, when you think about it this way, when you're looking at this image, why would Indigenous people need a vote in a colonial government? When you think about it deep enough, giving an Indigenous person the ability to vote in the colonial government is really another way of taking away Indigenous rights. It's a everybody thinks, oh, everybody gets a right to vote. Well, there should be a level of equality. So me as an Indigenous person, my Indigenous government should be representing me and my people on this land. There shouldn't be any need for non-Indigenous people to interfere with Indigenous governments, and there shouldn't be a need for Indigenous people to interfere with the colonial government. The colonial government represents everybody who's not Indigenous on this land. The problem is there's no equality. It's not, right? Everyone here, we all seem to follow the colonial government rules. We're not following the Indigenous government rules, which also apply to us. Someone just texted me here like 3 times, blowing up my phone. So it's a hard topic to wrap our mind around. you basically have to go through every law of the land and say, is this the right level of equality between the two governments? And then ultimately, how do we make decisions, final decisions, international decisions with this two government? It's too hard to think about. That's why the colonial government would rather just let's just take over everything and pretend the Indigenous people aren't here, right? That's easiest for them. Got some documents that weren't assigned properly. So, yeah, that's the reality. We're sitting in a government that doesn't have the right level of equality, politically speaking, right? Social issues and things like that, that's a completely different. When you're talking about clean water and economics and things like that, that's a completely different conversation, and very hard to have that conversation without the political backing, right? When you say, oh, the federal government has this rule, we have to follow this rule. All right. Industry, businesses, they're following the rule. But when an Indigenous government says, in our traditional territories, here is an additional rule or a caveat to this rule, industry doesn't have to follow it. They would rather just say, it's not a government rule, so why are we listening to it, right? Because it may make it more difficult. And that's because our settler governments, our colonial governments, they're not playing by the rules. They've changed the rules without consultation, right? It's not half the stuff the government is doing is not legal because they're not following the treaties and how the treaties should be followed. And we think the Constitution and our human rights are the top government documents when they're not. The treaties are more important than the Constitution of Canada. That is the truth, because there would be no Canada without the treaties. So it's just like, mind blown, right? There is a more important document than the Constitution in Canada. And how do we move forward with that thought in your head? How do you move forward with that? Well, you continue oppressing the Indigenous people and just forget about it. End that share. End that. So I hope you had a good look at it. Ask your questions in the comments. Ask your questions. Also, if you got an HR question, let's chat about that too. If you don't want to put your question in, you're being shy, absolutely book a meeting with me. We can talk HR, we can talk Indigenous Relations, or we can just business networking. If you want to come on the live with me, I've been calling it a live stream, but I've also been classifying it as a podcast on YouTube. So I think I'll start saying live podcast and we can get visitors online. You can come chat with me. We can talk about your business and issues you're having, HR, Indigenous Relations. Or you can share what your business does and get some free advertising. It just costs you some time on a little hour to 2 hour lunch and learn. You don't have to come on. If you want to come live, you don't have to come live with me for a full hour and a half, 2 hours that I normally do. You can come on for 15 minutes, right? I'll ask you 2-3 questions and you can talk about your business and what you do, and Bob's your uncle, right? That's the beauty of social media right now. It's free to post, right? You might be thinking, let's do some back-end production, editing stuff that's going to cost you money because you need to hire somebody to do it. I'm just posting live here. It's raw, it's real. I'm not doing a whole lot of editing. After the live, my program, Restream.io, it will pick out viral moments in this long hour and a half, 2 hour, and I turn that into a short or a TikTok, and I post those as my shorts, and they're usually less than a minute long. And that's all of a sudden I've got on each platform that I stream to, I get at least 6 pieces of content in one day. And it didn't cost me anything to post it. People can see it for free, consume it for free. So I don't know why I'm ranting and raving about this, but anyway, it's related to getting on a meeting with me and getting on the live with me. If you're thinking of starting to do the podcast rounds, a lot of podcasters are looking for content. So if you can take an hour or 2 out of a week and get at least one podcast done with somebody, geez, you could book a podcast a day, every day, with these small podcasters that are relevant to your business and your industry, of course. But mine is a little more general. I'm not talking about this is just a podcast for restaurants. No, that's not what I'm talking about. HR, we can talk about anything, any business. So come on the show. Oh, somebody just chatted. We don't have an Uncle Bob. Are you sure? This is what my sister just commented. We don't have Uncle Bob. I guess I said Bob's your uncle or something in here. I'm pretty sure we got an Uncle Bob. Uncle Robert. Yeah. Oh, we might have a Muslim Robert. Muslim Bob. Yeah, we got some about how close we're related to Moberly's. Wouldn't we consider Robert Moberly, Uncle Bob? Anyway, we got lots of family relations in my hometown. We're basically related to everybody. That's I guess it's probably the same for most small towns, but it seems even more amplified when you're Indigenous. Anytime I would even look at a girl in my hometown, my mom would be like, "She's your cousin. Oh, we're related really close. We're really close. She's like your sister." Right? Like every time. So, and that's that's the problem with being Indigenous, and we bring that back to traditional culture. When you're Indigenous, it was important that you traveled with the family to powwows. You get some culture, but you also end up meeting other youth from other nations. That's how you found your spouse back in the day, right? You went on the powwow trail. And these gatherings were so important. They're just not a cultural thing, like a religious ceremony type thing. They're social, society stuff, right? If all you got is cousins and second cousins and third cousins in your own home community, well, you got to go to the powwow and find somebody you're not that closely related to, right? So these were powwows and different ceremonies and different cultures. They were different indigenous cultures, different indigenous nations. They were important because of this. Trying not to turn the family tree into the family bush, right? So that was important. Anyway, I'm going to take this QR code off here. You don't need that anymore. If you got a question, today we are talking about Indigenous Relations, but if you want to talk about HR, I can, because I missed my live yesterday because me and my wife were taking our vacation, our one and only vacation this year, probably. And so I didn't get a live in the HR live yesterday. So today is everything Indigenous Relations, HR. We already talked about how the treaties basically create Canada, and the treaties are a more important document than even the Constitution of Canada. I don't know what to talk about. I'm just gonna go and look at my documents. Maybe I can find a cool document I can bring up and we can have a look at. Message me if you want to get on the show. Happy to get someone live. Not you, Joy. You're crazy. I don't need to be talking to my crazy sister on the live. Let me look at these documents. Oh, this is kind of a good one. Let's open this one. We can... I don't exactly like the title of this document, but a bit of information from the Canadian government. Why did I do that? I'm going to change that. I like this view better. Anyway, looking at this document. How do we shrink it down? Maybe I do like the other view better. Let's squish me up. Hey, yeah, that's it. That's it. So this is a Government of Canada document, which I found. Actually, the Stats Canada website is a really, really great place to find information. So I would highly recommend going there. But it is calling these historic treaties. It's almost implied that these are out of date, no longer relevant treaties. These are all relevant. These are all legally binding. These are the agreements between the original settlers of this land, Indigenous people, as far back as 37,000 years ago to today, right? So we look at these and we can see the post-Confederation treaties. Pre-Confederation treaties. We have the Peace and Friendship treaties. These ones here in New Brunswick. And we have the Southern Ontario treaties and the Robinson treaties, which are up along the north side of the Great Lakes, and the Douglas treaties, and this is way over here on Vancouver Island, right? There was a few treaties, but if you look at this map, anything that is white didn't get properly covered in a treaty. And that's kind of sad, because essentially these Indigenous people in all these areas aren't covered properly with a treaty, and technically, legally, Canada has no right to any of the lands that are white, right? Because there is no treaty sharing that section of land. That section of land, technically, legally, is still in the hands of the Indigenous people in the area. No court in the country is going to side with my view on that, but that is the truth. And then we have the Williams treaties that come in here and cover the rest of Southern Ontario. And we have the numbered treaties that, is a big chunk of central and western Canada, up to the Rockies and up to the Arctic Ocean. And these were just the order that they had done the treaties, right? Because they wanted to take over certain pieces of land and start colonizing them, spreading out. And I'm part of Treaty 8. This is my treaty that covers me and my people. I currently live in Treaty 6 territory here in Edmonton. And of course, Southern Alberta is Treaty 7. We also have a little bit of Treaty 10 and Treaty 4 covering the province of Alberta. And of course, Treaty 8 spans 3 provinces and 2 territories, the Yukon Territory and our Northwest Territories. Of course, we have a modern day treaty, which is the creation of the Nunavut Territory. Nunavut is an Indigenous territory, and we call it a territory, and it's part of Canada proper, but it was created based on treaty making. So think about that. That's an interesting situation. So I like looking at the treaty maps because it makes us really understand Canada a little bit more, and realizing that Canada wouldn't be here legally without treaties. This is a pretty good map. I'm not sure how updated. Okay, this says June 2022. So, and I think there are currently treaties being settled, being negotiated in these other areas. And of course, Quebec is kind of, nope, we're not doing any treaties with nobody. Like, it's a different feeling in Quebec when you think about treaties. So let's stop sharing that now. That's what we're talking about. Stop sharing screen. It's me. Look, it's me again. We got anything caption wise that we want to show? Let's see. Oh yes, next Saturday. Oh no, next Sunday. We're having a free free public presentation of the KAIROS Blanket Exercise that me and my wife are putting on. It's at the Community League Hall. If you use this link, you can go to the Queen Mary Park Community League Hall website, and it'll give you the address. Now, this is next Sunday, and I just want to double check the time in my calendar. So this is Sunday, September 28th at the Queen Mary Park Community League Hall here in downtown Edmonton. It is from 1 to 3 p.m. about the KAIROS Blanket Exercise. If we have a full house, it can go up to 4 hours long, so it could be a little bit longer, it could be a little bit shorter. We need at least 20 people to show up to run it properly. If we don't get 20 people participating, committing to that, then we're going to try to run it. If we got 10, 15, it's just not effective in very well. And to get the proper impact and understand the colonization of Canada and the socioeconomic issues that were faced since colonization by Indigenous people, it's really impactful if we got a good number. If we can get 20 to 30 people, that's a good event. So I really hope we can get some people out to that. You do have to RSVP. You do have to send an email to me at the hall. Oh my God, let's make a new caption here. Sign up for free. Exercise. Let's put that out there. Oh. Sign up for a free KAIROS Blanket Exercise. Email me. I'm on the Queen Mary Park Community League board, so you can email me at ian@queenmarypark.ca. ian@queenmarypark.ca. Email me there and say you want to participate. We have to get more people signed up. I basically have nobody signed up yet. So please sign up. This is the hall. This is where it's going to be. Use this email, ian@queenmarypark.ca, to confirm. Because if we get over 50, we might not be able to run it properly. It'll be crowded, but we could get 50 people, no problem, in there. So I'm not really worried about being overcrowded, but I really need to get at least 20 people. We could do it with between 10 and 15, but it's messy and it's not as impressive. So please, if you want to see the KAIROS Blanket Exercise for free, it is a public event, so anybody can show up to it, but you need to register. Use the email ian@queenmarypark.ca to register now. And right now, basically, we've had nobody sign up. So I'm sad. It's going to be a quiet event. I'll try to get out on the socials and remind people to sign up. And that's in downtown Edmonton here. I really want to see more people come in for that. Now, I got this link here for the hall address because in real life, I also do Career Club on the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. And that's at the hall also. But I'll leave this free KAIROS Blanket Exercise here. This is a 500-year history lesson of all the issues that Indigenous people have faced since colonization. And usually there's a little bit of history about, because people have been here in North America for 37,000 years through the last couple ice ages. So, I mean, 500 years in the history of a people that's been here this long, it's almost nothing. Almost nothing. My sister says, okay, you twisted my arm. I got my table all set up if you want to go live with me. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. I will send. Oh, yeah. Her wife is watching also, but she can't comment, unfortunately, because she thinks her work is blocking the comments. I guess it depends on where you're watching from. You could be watching from either Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. So YouTube seems to work really good for the comments. You can see my sister's comments here on the screen now are popping up. I'll turn them off again. Let's see. I'm gonna. How do I copy invite link? Okay, copy the link. Oh, let's see. I'll send this. I don't know if I can do a private chat. I'll have to. What's the best way to send it to you, Joey? Is it email or? I'll just open an email. Let's see. Oops, I'm in my Queen Mary Park email. That's not going to do anything. I got your Gmail. Your full name Gmail account. I sent it to you. Invite. Let's see if it works. So there is a strange delay when somebody comments to when I see it at my end. There seems to be less of a delay with what you're seeing and what I'm saying. I think there is a delay, but the comments seem to come in like really late. It's like, I can't remember what Joy said. She was like 5 minutes or something. Anyway, I sent you that email, Joy. Have a look. See if you can connect with the link. QR codes. I'll take that one off. I'll leave that one on for the free KAIROS Blanket Exercise. And that's on this Sunday. Maybe I should edit it. Sunday, September 28th, 1 p.m. at the hall. So my sister has shown up. Now I gotta find a way to show her on screen. Are you ready, Joy? Oh, she's okay. I don't have you on yet. Oh, what'd she say? She like, oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna add her to the stream. I don't know if it's working though. It just went black. Her little screen. Okay, I'm gonna turn her on. Your face showed up. Okay, we see you. Can you hear us?
All of a sudden I had the emergency thing going on my phone. Like,
emergency thing?
Well, I tried to put it in the holder here. Everything started happening. I'm like, oh my god.
So do you want the square or do you want that? Oh, you're in.
I can go either way. I'll just go like that.
Do what's comfortable to you, and see, this looks okay. Oh my God! Don't quit doing that. Take her off the live stream. Hey everybody, this is my sister. This is my sister Joy Grant. She's my big sister. Just because she's older than me, not because she's bigger than me. I'm taller than her. I've been taller than her for a long time.
I don't even know how long.
How's the music at your end? Is it too loud? Should I turn it down a little bit?
You could turn it down a little, but it's not overly powering.
Powerly. Overly powerly.
Powerly. Oh shit.
So, my sister has her little business called Unbound Creations. And I'm going to put her link to her Facebook group up on the screen right now. So if you want to use that link, it's right there. Here I am trying to do the pointer thing and half my screen is gone. So anyway, she's got a lot of cool stuff.
I had to put stuff over top of my stuff so that the cats didn't go on it. Yeah. I guess my main thing that I wanted, since it's Indigenous Day, is the fact that my mother has done a lot of beading. So
you make it sound like she did that on her own accord. It feels more like, hey mom, we need to sell some stuff.
Yes, we do.
Get back to work. Yeah, she just made those earrings. I saw them posted up. Those look awesome.
And if you're an Oilers fan, so you know it doesn't.
Oh my! You better join up. Edmonton,
you get that
people.
For your wife.
Corinthe doesn't really wear earrings.
No,
so.
I guess she doesn't. No.
Look at that. Look at that.
Really need to get rid of that's a lanyard, not a lanyard. Pendant.
Yeah, it's a pendant on a lanyard.
Yeah. So. But yeah. Am I echoing on your side?
Not on my side, no.
Okay, well on my side it echoes.
Well, let me turn to my microphone off when you talk.
Yeah, because when I talk, I can hear myself talking on your side. I think that's what's going on there. Ta-da. I don't know. What else you want to talk about?
Talk about your stuff.
You want me to continue showing my stuff?
The different stuff you have. Let's talk about it.
Okay, well, a new thing that I have are lanyards. This is bees. So, pretty flowers. And then I still have Christmas stuff from last year. This is so you can put your pen in it.
Just one pen?
No, you can probably put a few pens in there and then hang your glasses off of it.
No, that's it right there. Everybody needs to connect with her and buy that right now. Only $900.
No, that's only $10. And then we still have this big guy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I almost bought it. I thought it was an actual cup, but it's got a hole in the mouth.
I wish it was an actual cup, but yeah, even when we printed it, we were disappointed to find out you just stick a water bottle or something in it. So. And then Mom still has these things too. Those are for hanging over your rear view mirror.
Yeah, tiny moccasins. It's gonna make your vehicle smell like hide, smoked hide.
Yes, no, because they are made from actual hide. not the fake hide. And then we've got a whole lot of bookmarks. These are actually created. These characters are created by my older daughter, Shay.
Skills.
They go along with a book that she's writing. So hopefully one day we'll be promoting her book more. And then my other daughter, as you have mentioned, creates stickers. And we sell them in the sticker pack. Why didn't you buy that one? That one has an F word in it.
An F word? What, a flower?
No.
Well, I got this one because it was like there was a Frankenstein's monster on the front.
Yeah.
I've since taken them out and looked at them.
Yeah. No, see, I've this batch is all assorted because I was still trying to figure out how to get my stupid printer to print properly. Like this one has there's a big thing in here. It's got the Barbapapas in it. Do you remember them? You don't remember the Barbapapas?
I remember the name, but I can't remember. Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
I found a picture like that, and I'm, oh god, I gotta make that a sticker. But the rest of the stuff, other than that one, are all created by Tanis. She's got a whole bunch more that I still need to print out, but my printer died. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. She also decided she was gonna make her own pins out of her stickers. So it's just a safety pin on the back.
Oh, okay.
But she made them. Yeah.
Right
on.
on.
Just so excited.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. You got the whole family contributing to the business.
Well, that's how it works. They're all creative, just like you. And then these are what do you call them?
Keychains?
Wristlets? Keychain wristlets? Yeah. So you can like put them on. But this was made from my scraps for the lanyards.
Wrong with my standard Ford keychain.
Yeah, no. So instead of shoving it all in your pocket, like women like to carry their keys because we don't have pockets.
Just buy clothing with pockets.
We try. We really try. And then we've got all the keychains. Oxalato. And then I just printed these. T-Rex.
T-Rex. Oh. I got the Aussie. Aussie's over there right now.
Yes, you do got the Aussie.
Looks like Elizabeth can get online. She can comment now.
Oh, awesome. She probably went onto her cell phone. And then I still have some of these things.
Oh, scrunchies?
Yeah, scrunchies. I have no hair, but I make scrunchies.
My hair's getting longer. I might need one.
Yeah, right. You'll cut it again.
So Liz here says, Little Red River Board of Education has already made me watchable on their system. I'm not censored in at the Little Red River Board of Education now.
She uncensored?
Uncensored me. Liz says those Oilers earrings would be popular in Fox Lake.
Yeah. Well, we've got 4 pair right now. Problem is people buying them. I'm blinded.
I don't know what you're. I don't know how it looks on your screen. I'm on my computer, so I can see all three. I can see me, I can see you, and I can see the chat with Liz's comments up there.
Yeah, see, when I turn it sideways, I end up just seeing our heads, and that's it. So I turn it back. I can't get it to like full screen.
Yeah.
I'll have to try with my tablet if I ever do this again.
So, well, let's talk more about your business. What's your plans? What are you doing? How do you run your business right now? Like, what activities are you doing to make sales?
Currently, all I'm doing is posting online. We did a lot of markets last year, but we found we weren't selling as much. The closer we get to Edmonton, the less sales we get. It's weird. So I'm finding our biggest sales are always within Wabasca. We sell more in one day here than we do the whole summer in Athabasca. Yeah. It's just everybody loves it here.
Yeah. Well, and I guess everybody knows you better too, I guess, or...
Well, yeah, and then people are showing up to my booth just simply because they know us.
Yeah.
So. But even when I sold in Slave Lake, I still sold more than I sold in a day in Athabasca.
Yeah,
So.
Slave Lake still... Is it a little bit closer than Athabasca?
Yeah. It's only an hour and a little bit to get to Slave Lake, and it's 2 hours to Athabasca. But
that's
Athabasca, they have more access to Edmonton. So, I even when we were in Westlock there, I only made enough to cover my gas. And that was from you a lot.
Yeah, we bought a bunch of stuff. You should have been rich rolling in it, right?
Yeah, no. I think you made about 1/3 of what I sold.
Aw.
So,
yeah. Well, we were procrastinating on some of that stuff. We'd seen it before and thought of purchasing it, but we were broke.
And I was just gotta buy it now.
Yeah, and that's my dragon too. I've been looking at the dragons that she was printing out. These are wicked cool dragon heads. Everybody show your dragon. Everybody show your dragon. So
I'll show my 3 heads.
3-headed dragon. I almost got that one. I really like this one because it had the gold tips.
Yeah. Oh, and then I got these ones with the green spines. I think it was supposed to be the other way, but it got set wrong. So it should have been green on the bottom and then gold spines. You end up having to learn how to do these darn things. It took me 4 false starts to get this one right, because the green kept trying to print the body instead of the eyes. So that's Toothless and his girlfriend.
Oh, so cute. Oh my. Did you have those in Westlock?
I had her, but I didn't have him.
Okay. We might have got Toothless.
He sells out pretty fast, so I'll probably have to make more of him. But I gotta make more of the oxalato. I got lots and lots of pigs. Why didn't you get a pig?
Show us the pig.
Here's the pig. See, he's even got white eyes. That takes 3 colors to print. So.
He's so cute.
I know he's cute.
So big.
You should get a whole collection. Oh, and then I just printed these last night. See the color change in the T-Rex. I like how that is. And then they stand. These little guys stand too.
Nice.
I gotta put the
Like
back
those.
on that.
Those are good looking.
So. And then you can see my snakes are standing.
Oh yeah.
I actually made them stand in my setup in here.
Yeah, I almost got one of those, but the dragon was better.
No, it's a snake. Oh yeah, I guess the dragon was better. Now everybody can see my kitchen. And then I still have these Christmas bows. I find these, of course, sell better closer in December. So they're for little kids. So. I made probably about twice as many of those last December, and I did sell a lot. So this was left over from when we were going to do another Christmas market, and then they canceled it. It's like, really? I got all this stuff made, and then I had no more markets that last year. So for Christmas stuff. Because I even have like Christmas. Oh, come on. Christmas wristlets. So hopefully I can sell a whole bunch. I accidentally left my Christmas decorations out at a couple of the things. I just like set them off to the side. These are actually ornaments that I made. Someone started buying them. I'm like, wait, is that Christmas? It was like the middle of the summer. I guess this lady had moved all the way from overseas, and she's like, well, I've got nothing for Christmas, because she didn't bring anything with her. So she saw those and was like, oh, I gotta get them. So that's always fun. But yeah.
All the good stuff. For my listeners online here, what's the best way to order stuff from you?
Right now would just be online. Like they can message me on Facebook or YouTube for that matter, but most people don't find my YouTube channel. Yeah, just message me, contact me online. A lot of times I have my phone number also posted as well, so people can contact me through text as well. So. Or email.
All right, and they can find all that info on your Facebook group?
Yeah, it's all there.
Okay,
yeah.
So the link is still up here on the screen.
I do take deposits now on custom beading orders that Mom has to do, because that Yeti was a custom order, and when she was halfway done making it, the person ghosted us, and I hadn't taken a deposit. So next time I learn.
Boo.
Especially when it comes to something big like that, and they're not local. So.
All right, be ready with your down payment, with your deposits.
And you're not getting it back if she's already done it. Just means whoever buys it after that gets it for half price. Because you already paid the deposit.
Or you don't have to tell anyone that someone else made a deposit.
Yeah, no, I don't have to do that. Yeah. I'm just so annoyed when people do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's no fun. That's I have to do that with my business also. For a little bit, I was, like with the KAIROS Blanket Exercise or something, I was asking people just pay it up front right now, the full price. I have changed it to 50% deposit to book, and then they owe the rest on the day of. I say on or about. I mean, clients are pretty good. Usually like a week before the booking, they'll pay up the rest or something like that. But as long as I'm getting 50%, I'm covering my costs to travel and things like that. I gotta pay somebody to help me.
Especially if you're going out of the city too, or far end of the city.
Yeah, we occasionally go to Calgary. We've done a couple in Calgary.
Oh,
and wow. I miscalculated, and we didn't make a whole lot of money because it was like, oh, that hotel was a lot more expensive than needed. So we now do hotels separated, right? The cost of the KAIROS Blanket Exercise and our mileage, and then the hotel. So, and then they have to pay at least 50% of all that before we'll book.
You're supposed to stay at the cheap hotel.
What? No, we're fancy people. We're fancy people. I was just thinking about Jasper when we went. We stayed at the old Storage Inn. I think it's called Forest Lawn Inn or something, like different company purchased it off of storage.
Oh, is it the one that's first when you first drive into Jasper?
Yeah, just as you get in town.
Yeah, that's usually where I stay.
Yeah. Well, that's a 3-star hotel, just like the Jasper Park Lodge, which is twice per night.
Yeah.
Like the average price at the lodge was, I think they wanted like $900 for a king room. And me and my wife, we got to have that king bed, right? But it was, I think, total with the environmental fees and the travel fees, the park fees they put in, I think it was just shy of $600 for the night, like $588, and that was just one night. But 3-star hotel, that's all right. We stayed at a 2-star. We stayed at the Lobstick one time, and
I stayed there.
No air conditioning, and it was they had a big box fan for us in the hotel room to cool us down.
Obviously it was during the summer.
Lobstick is a ski lodge through and through. You stay there for cheap skiing accommodations. You get 6 people in the room, and it's wintertime, so it doesn't get hot, right? So, but it was pretty bad, and it was like, no, we're not staying there again. This was right COVID, so this probably would have been 2021 when everything was still kind of locked down. Like they had us really separated in the restaurant for the breakfast. Like we were like
great big sections.
There were like 2 tables away from anyone else in the restaurant. But I don't know. We were trying to be cheap, but
now you're never going to be cheap again.
No, we're snobs when we travel. I mean, we don't enjoy the camping. So even if we're thinking, oh, we'll try to get it cheap and just stay at a campsite. I mean, we did that a few times, and we're just basically sleeping in the vehicle because we don't like tents.
You don't have a camper.
No, we don't have a camper. We're not rich like that. So we'd have to get an old beat up camper, and hopefully it won't die on us every time we go someplace.
Those A-frame ones.
We thought about that.
Yeah, you probably have to finance it though.
Yeah, probably still. It just, I don't like pulling a trailer.
Oh, well, that makes a difference too.
I would rather just have an RV, and we were thinking just one of the mini ones. And the problem is they're more expensive than if you purchase a full-size RV.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, what? We want this like a regular van with, or not even like a, what are those vans? Like a transit van or something like that. That's
Okay,
what
yeah.
we want. We want a bed and a toilet. We don't even care if there's a kitchen area or anything, right? We just want those two things. So we keep thinking about that, and it's like, well, let's just buy a transit van and put a bed in it, right? We'll just buy an ugly cargo van, put a bed in it, and one of those toilets that burn up your poop, the incinerator toilets, and it's like that's all we need.
Well, that's what Bryce did. He bought a very old van, and he's got a bed in there and a bench, a counter. That's it.
That's more than we need.
Yeah. Well, the bench is nice because it's a bit lower than the bed, because he's got lots of storage underneath the bed. He's got all his tools and stuff under there.
Yeah,
and he was
wow.
and you know, he was even able to close off all the holes that were letting the exhaust in. That's how old it is.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to block the exhaust from getting in while you're sleeping.
And he's currently driving that to and from work right now.
Well, if it works, it works.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, how you want to talk any more about your business? Should I let you go?
I should mention that my wife is the one who got me onto the 3D printing. This is our second 3D printer. Currently, she's fighting with the first one, trying to figure out why it doesn't work. So she took that up north with her. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have anything to print. Because I keep looking at the program. She just made me download the program so I can try and do it. I'm going to try. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, 3D printing is such a cool thing. I know my brother-in-law, he's got a 3D printer, and he printed me off some Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Oh yeah,
a couple years ago. So
Yeah.
he was testing out stuff. So that's kind of neat. I still got to put in a request for him and get a few extra characters made.
Mhm. Yeah, I know I got to figure out how to do it.
Okay, well, let's tell everybody your business name and best way to get a hold of you.
So I'm Unbound Creations, and my mother is actually Wabasca Native Crafts, and you get a hold of me through Facebook. Either of those names will get to either business, Unbound Creations or Wabasca Native Crafts. And you can put in orders or okay.
All right, that's awesome. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
'Cause maybe I'm gonna go. It's been
Yeah.
1 hour and 23 minutes live today. So, all right. I'll see you later.
See you.
Love you, my sister.
Love you.
Okay. How do I disconnect you now?
I just hit leave.
Oh, I can turn it off too. Whoop. There, I kicked my sister out of the live. So humiliating that I have my big sister on the show. Oh my God, so humiliating. No, it's not. I love her. And she didn't say anything to humiliate me, so that's good. So I still got the email up, ian@queenmarypark.ca, if you want to come see a free presentation of the KAIROS Blanket Exercise here in downtown Edmonton. This is this Sunday, September 28th at 1 p.m. at the Queen Mary Park Community Hall. I'll put that up again. This is the QR code to take you to the Queen Mary Park website, and you can see the address for the hall. And of course, a little shout out in real life, our IRL Career Club every third Thursday at 7 p.m. at this same hall in downtown Edmonton. So I just want to make sure that's there. Shout out to Joy for coming on the show, showing her wares. And so she talked about me being creative, and my only creative outlet right now is my designs that I put up on TeePublic. It's a website where you can get t-shirts, hats, coffee mugs, stickers, and you can get all of my designs on it. Right now my newest design is we all die trying. It was my wife mentioned this last week or something, so I thought it was funny, and I'm like, wow, let's make a t-shirt design about it. So I put it up there. But there are other designs at my store. Do I have a link straight for the store? One of my favorite designs is "In Space, HR Can't Hear You Scream." I love aliens. That was the tagline for Aliens in Space. They can't hear you scream. But HR twist, in space, HR can't hear you scream. And I've also got the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation t-shirts on there, so you can get it in red. I mean, it's a little late now to try to order one of those, but it's still there. Yeah, so here's direct to my TeePublic store. That's the angry HR fellow. He's always mad. So that goes to the main store, and you can see all my designs. And of course, I'm an Indigenous person, so you'd be supporting an Indigenous business, just like you'd be supporting my sister's Indigenous business. I do have to get a link for my mother's Facebook group for her beading and Indigenous arts. She does moccasins and things like that along with her beading. So I'll have to get that for next week, make sure I got it up there. And what else? If you learned anything today, go ahead, give me a Google review. I know earlier we talked about the treaties and how important they are to the formation of Canada. You learned a little something new today, go ahead, give me a Google review. 5 stars, always nice, because the gold star in reviews on the interwebs right now is Google. I think we're done. I think we're done for today. Oh, little light reading. 21 things you may not know about the Indian Act. This is a great place to start reading about the Indian Act. It explains each part of the Indian Act and what it really means and how it's been used wrong, essentially. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna turn off everything. Don't need that on. Someone's chatting. Oh, okay, yeah. So my sister says our mom's stuff. She tries not to add mom's beading to her Facebook group since she has her own. Although Joy admins both groups, so I'll try to get that link up here sometime. What do I still got this chat on? Turn the chat off. Chat's off. All right. 1:01 a.m. or p.m. Oh boy, where are you at? I've been on for an hour and 29 minutes. I'm gonna let everybody go. If you have questions, you can comment on one of these videos, or if you're connected with me on LinkedIn or someplace, go ahead, send me a direct message, and I will try to answer your HR or Indigenous Relations questions. Okay, bye-bye. I go.